Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome to Carlos Inspire Show series on inspirational stories of others who work like an immigrant. We have a special guest in the house today. So my name is Carlos. For the ones that don't know me, I am an author of Work Like an Immigrant, coming up in October 2018. I'm an inspirational speaker and a mentor of mentors who travels around the world, who loves to inspire others, from little children in third world countries, and sharing with them stories of how I overcame so much struggle in life and was able to do so much in the period of all the struggles that we all face in life. And today, I got someone super special here in the house, Mr. Martin Lopez. And Martin Lopez, he's basically a speaker, an author, a trainer, and a coach in personal development industry. His book called The Curiosity Theory, which is a powerful methodology that radically changes the way we look at life, the way we look at ourselves, and the way we look at each other. What's going on, Martin? How's it going?
Oh man, I'm so excited. I'm going good, man. Going real good. Thank you, man. What a great introduction.
Yes, no, thank you for being here, my friend. You know what I mean? You show up to blow up. And then one thing that I love about Martin is something that I always preach, which is one of my mantras, which is right behind me, which is live every day with intention, right? Because it's so important to live every day with intention. And what is the purpose of this series of inspirational stories of others who work like an immigrant? So that we're able to share with the world and with other people. They might be less fortunate. They cannot afford a mentor, a coach, a consultant. And I wanted to be able to, have those, inspirational interviews so that we can share with the world how we do it. How did we overcome? How did we start from nothing and became self-made where we are now are making a difference? So Martin, I like to start a question that I always love to start is, let me know, what is your superpowers?
Well, I think it's my superpower right here is curiosity. I'm just naturally a very curious person. I'm always inquisitive, always wondering, I'm always asking questions, just curious about people.
That's awesome. And I love questions, right? Because questions, right? The quality of our questions, they determine the quality of our lives, right? You have, your thoughts equal meaning equal emotions, and as emotions, they lead to those actions that we take in life. So we have to be very careful, right? The questions that we ask ourselves. Like we were talking here before we went live about, being curious, right? Creating curiosity, you know what I mean? I know also that one of your superpowers, you are very successful, a mortgage consultant, and you specialize in loans for VAs. And I love giving it back to soldiers from not only from the U.S., but from all around the world. Whether they're coming from war, they might be suicidal, they went through some traumatic experience. I love to give it back during my free time to mentor those guys. And I love it how you specialize in helping them, providing them with the VA and loans into that major. You know what I mean? I really appreciate for that. For everybody out there, they're also looking, you know what I mean? They are coming from war, you know what I mean? VAs, this guy, man, Martin Lopez, look it up. He's awesome. And Martin, tell me something, you know what I mean? What is one of your favorite quotes? I love quotes. It's something that I do every day in the sauna when I go for my power walk. You know what I mean? My daughter and I, you must be the change you want to see in the whole world. We're having fun. So do you have like a quote that you just remind yourself every day, you kind of to break it up, from the daily routine? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a lot of those things. I mean, do you have some of those rituals that you do in your daily life? If you could share with the audience, you know what I mean? What is your favorite quote? And then part two, you know what I mean? What rituals do you apply on your daily lives to break it up away from the chaos?
Wow, that's a great question. So my quote, and I just took it down from my Facebook, I had it forever, was every day and every way I'm getting better and better. And I think that was for so long my mantra. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of like almost in tears because it was so emotional, because I had that quote when I felt less than I felt today. I didn't feel as good about myself as I feel about myself today. And I had the success, I had all those things, but what was missing is my own personal awareness, or my own personal being willing to how do you say, just being willing to own who I am. And I didn't have ownership in that person. And as soon as I took that down, it was a result of me feeling like I had more ownership in me. And the second part of your question is how I got there. Every day, every single day, I meditate. I do it once a day, and sometimes I'll do it maybe 3 or 4 times a day. And then I have a journal. I have it's called a gratitude journal, and every day I write in the journal. And I'll write, sometimes I'll have ideas. I wrote this in this journal. I made this book in this journal. So that's what I do. And those are the things I have to do that are my absolute. I will not, I just don't walk out the door before I do that.
No, I love, man. I love that quote, because that's something that whenever I used to go exercise, like say for a run or something I didn't like to do, I would remind myself every day and every way I'm getting better. And I would throw my hand in the air, or I would tap myself in the shoulder every day and every way I'm getting better. Yeah. And I would also say every day, every way I'm getting stronger. I would add that piece as well. I used to say that, and my daughter, you know what I mean? Because as I always tell people, right? If you don't have 10 to 15 minutes to give yourself, you know what I mean? Like your first 15 minutes in the morning, guys, it's primordial that you go. Because I tell people, secret of success, going all out every single day. But before you do that, you got to have something so that you can visualize, and then you can also master your self-talk. And it's so important. Like there's like I always talk to a lot of soldiers. We have fun, right? Whenever I was in the military in Brazil, and I talking to a lot of soldiers, look, why they're so at it on us if you're a soldier out there about fixing your bed, right? First thing in the morning. Why? You all grown up men, you soldiers, you like out there going to war. But why? Because that's the only thing that you do it right in the morning, and your entire day suck. When you come back home at the end of the day, you're going to have a nice bed ready to go to sleep. It's going to make you because you start the day by doing one thing. That was awesome. And you gave yourself, guys, that time to meditate. You know what I mean? Tony always talks about priming. You know what I mean? So where Tony does, the breathing, and he goes crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like whatever is your thing. What is praying, breathing, meditating is so important that you pick a ritual and you give yourself, because if you don't have 10 minutes to give to yourself before the day starts, you don't have a life. And one thing, you know what I mean?
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yeah. So many people wait for the last minute to wake up so they can just get to work. And it's all pressure. Yes. Right. It's all struggle. It's like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to work. I don't want to. And then they get to work. Oftentimes people don't even want to be there. And it's all this, I don't want to. By the time, they get home, it's like, what do? Then they turn the TV on, and who wants to watch TV?
It's like, dude, it's so funny you say that, Martin. I tell all the time, whenever I'm on stage, it's unnecessary stress. Sometimes we give ourselves the stress. And I tell people all the time, whether they are clients, family members, or friends, I'm going to tell you right now, you know what I mean? It's like, it's going to come from a good place, because I want to tell you what you should hear, you know what I mean? Not what you want to hear. Because the reason we are told our entire lives what we want to hear. And then like nowadays, whenever you experience the struggles, then people, they quit so easy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And, Martin, one thing that I also want to know to share with the audience, let's talk about, before all the successes, right? I want to know, share with everyone, what did it motivate you, Martin, to get out of bed in the morning when you began? When like the struggle was real, when you didn't have the money, you didn't have, help to lots of people, where, you didn't have a mentor or support system. Like, let's talk about that, right? Because it's something that many people don't talk about, and it's something that everybody see, Like people are like, oh, yeah, Carlos, you're always on the stage with so-and-so or with so-and-so celebrity. That's only a fraction. That's a photo. That's a couple of minutes, Maybe, we are in a mastermind or an event together, but then they don't see it, the 30 years of a struggle behind the scenes, the tears, being away from your family, being away from everyone, Nobody talk about that as much. They're like in depth. So this way, people there who are out there right now can also implement and do some of those things. So I would love to touch point on that, Martin. Like before the stuff started, what did it motivate you to get out of bed? And let us know a little bit about your story here. And I would love to hear that.
Good. Yeah, that's really interesting. Thank you for asking that question, because I haven't thought about that until right now. And when I was a kid, I was 15, 16 years old. I wanted to be a musician, and you can see I have guitars on the wall and I have a record there, and I have I actually became a record producer for a while, and nobody believed that I was going to be a record producer. People were much more talented than me than I didn't think I was very good, but there was something inside of me that was like a wisdom or a truth that I had inside of me, and it was before I understood what truth was. I didn't know what truth was. I didn't know that there's a spirit inside of me. There was just a spirit inside of me.
Wow.
And I think that like people that are out there like watching, like maybe this video, or they watch Tony Robbins, or they'll watch their favorite movie star, or their favorite soccer star, their football star, whatever. There's a part of their spirit. They might not know it, but there's a connection to that. And that's what I had, is I just wanted it. I knew it. And I knew part of that was me. And then I woke up in the morning to do that. And actually, I think the bigger question is what happened to me on that path that took that away from me. Because as a child, I just wanted to be a fireman,
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then somebody said, yeah, but you're going to die. And I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, maybe not, And you know what I mean? It's like, we have no filter. There's no limit. It's all possibility. But yet we then talk to our kids, or people talk to us, or you hear people talk to people, and then all of a sudden, let me diminish that spirit. Let me diminish that idea, And I think that's I think the more important question is what stopped me? What stopped me from being everything I could be? Because when I was a child, I could have flown to the moon.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Now I'm over here. I'm just, processing, and it's amazing because whenever, you touched on a few points that, like, when I was a child, like people always say, you're never going to do it. You're never going to achieve it, or they will shut your dream. Let's say in my case, grew up in Brazil, in a third world country, having a father who died in a car explosion, or my stepfather that was murdered. And I have all these dreams, and I was poor, At times I didn't have only rice to eat. And even though it was only rice, but I was fired up, right? Every day and every way, getting stronger, getting better. But I have those dreams, and I wasn't going to allow anybody to shut down,
Yeah.
Those dreams. It's just like I tell people all the time, and if you believe, if you believe, like first step in anything is believe, and just visualize it, like taking massive actions every day, like finding out what it motivates me to get out of bed. What is that why? Like really peel the layers of the onion, like every single one, and never stop, right? Until you get to the end result. And it's just so important, man. You made me go back and start thinking and reflecting on some of those things, right? Like, what did it make us keep it going throughout the struggle, right? I think for me, it's like always like keeping the eyes, or just knowing. I had no idea, Martin, that one day, it's funny because I'd be selling bread, right? In the back of my bicycle. And then I stopped to take a break, and I'm looking in the mirror. This is in the late 80s, early 90s. I'm a little boy selling bread, 7, 8 years old. And I'm watching the movies and stuff. And I was like, one day I'm going to go there. I'm going to go to Hollywood and Los Angeles, and I'm going to inspire those guys. I don't know how. I just know maybe I'll become a director. Like I want to become like a director, or like an astronaut, or like, a comedian.
Yeah.
All these things that I wanted to become, and I just knew that I wanted to inspire them and share with them all the struggle that I saw growing up, all my friends that I saw died, all the violence that happened, because I wanted them to, I know that inside each one of us is so much more that we can push just 1% more. I tell people all the time, if you push 1% more every single day in 1,000 days, holy Jesus, it's so astronomical changes on 1% improvement. You know what I mean? And like I tell all the time, and you know what I mean? So I appreciate, you bringing that up.
I love that.
And Martin,
I'm going to say something. Let me interrupt you real quick. Can I interrupt you?
Yes, sir.
Because this is the thing. I like you tell your story about being a kid. You talk your story about selling bread, and you tell your story about how you was it your grandfather talked to you and and I've heard your stories, and they're beautiful and heartbreaking and struggle and beauty and all those things combined together. But there's something that I see every single time you tell your story. I see this kid, I see this child, I see this beautiful soul that's like, dude, you guys can say anything to me. I'm going to Hollywood. And this is the thing about that. How did you even know what Hollywood was? There was something inside of you that was bigger than anything, bigger than the world, that was just singing inside of you, that just knew that you were going to go to Hollywood and you were going to bring your mom.
Yeah,
right?
man. You know what I mean? Nah, man, it's crazy, dude. You know what I mean?
It is.
You know, whenever you have dreams, I don't know, man. You know what I always tell you, Martin? I tell people, like, we need to struggle more in life. You know what I mean? Like, people need to fail more, man. They need to struggle more. Like, the struggle is real. Like, if you're not failing forward, like right now, whether, you know, you're going to school and maybe you have a job, or you having maybe two jobs, so that, and then on the end of the day, you're writing, your dream is maybe to write a book. Your dream is to, you know, put your keynote together, get your message out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, I tell people, we need to struggle more. You need to fail forward. You know, if you are not failing forward, but it's like pre-framing yourself, right? Ahead of time, and knowing that the struggle is going to be real. I'm going to fail. My loved one's going to shut me down. People going to tell me, you crazy. What? Did you just invest, you know, this much money in a course or in a mastermind? Or what? Are you going to travel away from your home for how many days to be in an event with a guru or an expert? Did you drink the Kool-Aid? It's all these stories, you know, all these stories, because they give up on themselves, and they're afraid of you taking off. And because you going for that dream, and then they just playing small because they try, right? The definition of tried, whenever somebody comes, oh, I tried. Okay, let me take a look at the Excel spreadsheet. You feel me?
Let's look at the numbers. Let's look at the numbers. The numbers tell you everything.
The numbers, you know what I mean? It's like, because, like, you know what I mean? So it's just so many memories, bro, that, you know what I mean? It's just, you make me go back in time here, you know what I mean?
Well, how many loaves of bread did you have to sell, right? You sold bread. It's like, okay. You sell one, you starve, you got to sell a lot of bread just to even for you to have one loaf, right?
No, and it's crazy, Martin, because the other day I was doing, you know how I always go silly on social media, and I do my live talks on the sauna because I used to work on the heat. And I tell people, like, how can you I would get knocked out, you know, selling bread, and then they would steal my money.
They steal your bread, yeah.
And then I get up next day, you know what I mean, go work again. And a couple of days pass, now I'm being robbed, gun held to my head. Kid, I see that you have an empty basket tied to the back of your bicycle. Let me get the money. So now, that those struggles, I used to get angry because I didn't have the money to bring to my mom so that we can leave the hood. But my why was, you know, if I keep doing it, if I keep moving forward, eventually my day will come. Eventually, I'll be able to leave the neighborhood. Eventually, I'll be able to go to another city around where the politicians, the musicians, the celebrities, the people that inspire and have millions of followers are, so that I'll be able to inspire them. So that in my mind, I was like, if I can inspire those guys, I'll be able to influence, you know, millions and millions and millions all over the world, that they can give it back. To remind every single one of us that you got it, man, a little bit more inside of you than what you're doing right now. Just go for it. It doesn't matter right now if you're in Brazil, in the favelas, or if you are right now, you know, in Kenya on the streets, or if you are right now, you know, in India. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. It's possible. Just believe in yourself. Just know that greatness is within you. Have those rituals. Do those journals. You know, do the incantations and the priming every day and every way. I'm getting better. I'm getting stronger. Ain't nobody taking this dream from me. You know what I mean? It's like, people might think it's silly, it's whatever. No, let them think it's silly. Let them think whatever. You know what I mean? Like, thinking about silly, but we're like, what is one silly thing that you like to do? You know what I mean? That, you know,
get on stage. Yeah, get on stage. You know, I mean, it is silly. It's silly, you know. It's silly for me to get on stage. I'm going to be on a big stage tomorrow at the convention center in San Diego talking about this. You know, I have a course that I'm going to do. Yeah, it's all silly. It's all silly. I mean, like, it's like, what was I supposed to do? I was supposed to go become a school teacher. I love it. My wife's a school teacher. I was supposed to be a contractor. I was supposed to be all these things, a bread maker, all those things, what I was supposed to do. But I was silly, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go sell real estate, and then I'm going to go become a mortgage guy, and then I'm going to write a book. Yeah, it's all silly. And when I do my Facebook Lives, and when I have to deal with my own struggle of my own judgment about myself, are you just a silly old fool just going to do a video? And sometimes I go, you know what? Heck, maybe I am, but I walk around town, or I go into real estate offices and talk to people, real estate agents, and you know what they tell me? Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for saying that. And then I think to myself, okay, maybe I'm making a difference. Maybe I'm just making a difference for one person. People have called me and said, Martin, I was thinking about, suicide, and I was thinking about, leaving my wife, and I was thinking about, just quitting and everything. And I saw your video, and I started being curious, and I started saying, maybe curious. And I, you know what? I went and apologized to my wife, and I gave my kids a kiss, and I went to that darn ball game, and I didn't go do this. And the people are telling me all their stories. And it's like, yeah, I'm just silly. I'm just a guy that grew up in the hood, that has a silly idea and thought for a minute, thought for a freaking second, Carlos, just like you. maybe I could make a difference. And then I took action on it, and I wrote a book, and that's it. And you know what? I don't stop. I can't stop. And I've had my ass kicked, just like you. I've had a couple guns to me. I've been in situations where gang murders were being planned, and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I've been in gang fights. I've had all that stuff, and I was in it, and I was out of it, and I was part of it, and I was all that. And I'm where I'm at right now, but I am no better off right now than I was when I was 10 years old. Yeah. The same person with the same dreams.
You are a blessing, man. God has something for you here in this world, brother. That's why we didn't die, through those experiences. And, Martin, speaking of, because it's a lot of people out there right now, that this country, right, they suffer a lot from depression, anxiety, suicidal tendencies. I've seen that grow so much over the years, even if you look at the stats. And let's talk right now, if somebody that's listening to us, if they are thinking of giving up, I wanted to, let's tell me about it, Martin, like a time in your life, Martin, where you almost gave up, and how did you felt about that? And then what did you do instead of giving up, Martin? You know what I mean? So
okay, what time is it right now in the day?
Right now,
no kidding, right? Like, no kidding. Waking up sometimes you want to give up. Going to sleep you want to give up. Like I have a phenomenal life. I have a gorgeous wife. I have beautiful children. I live on a hill overlooking the ocean. I mean, living in a but you know what? Tomorrow it can be all gone.
Yes.
None of that is guaranteed. So, sometimes the pressure of that, the struggle of trying to maintain that, the desire to maintain that, and to be able to help my children become the best they can be, and show my wife that she's important and that she deserves all the love in the world. Yeah, sometimes I just want to give up, and sometimes that's daily. So, one time I want to give up, Jesus, I can tell you, I can't even count how many times, Carlos, I've wanted to give up.
What did you do instead, Martin? Like, whenever you felt like that, because so many people out there, I wanted them to know, guys, that, look, even though Martin and I were super successful, we're out there helping so many people, all over the world, but the struggle is real. You know what I mean? Like I was telling Martin earlier, my daughter, she has, this genetic problem, with the methylation that is not a cure for it. But what? I keep moving forward. I'm out there searching for cure, researching. I'm helping, so many people within the medical technologies and, studying everything from biology to science to stem cell. But you know what I mean? Like, the struggle is real. If I don't know about it, I will become a master at it, and I will go for it. You know what I mean? Where the nights where your family doesn't sleep, you know what I mean? And then it's just like you wake up in the morning, you know what? Thank you, God, I'm up. my family woke up. You know what I mean? You might be a little sleepy, a little tired to go to school or to go to martial arts or to do, you know what I mean, to work on your business. But you know what? That's only one way, and that's forward. I'm not going to give up. You know what I mean? I'm going to, you know, making sure that just, I will never give up. You know what I mean? It's like, and I want people to understand.
And it's in nobody's nature. It's in, you know what, Carlos? It is in no one's nature to give up.
Yes.
There is nobody I've ever met that has the nature to give up. And let me tell you, let's start from the beginning. There was this little sperm among how many millions in an egg that wanted it, and how hard did they have to work? How hard did they have to work to come together and then spend 10 months gestating and then come out? And then, you know, it's all that. It's like we are we are designed to thrive. We are designed to succeed. We are designed. It is in our absolute design to do that. I think I was this little angel in heaven. Seriously? I got this little story about myself. I was this little angel in heaven looking down on the earth going, hey, that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Hey, wow, cool. There's a lot of people fighting down there. Let me go down there and see if I can help them. And then all of a sudden, poof, I was born. And all of a sudden, it was fights everywhere. And and all of a sudden, I was in the middle of the fights. And I had to figure out a way to do it. And I thought curiosity, a path from conflict to resolution. Boom, it came. And now it's a struggle to get that out there. It's a fight every day. But it's an honor. Like you said, like honor, like Brendan says, honor the struggle. Yeah. It's like, man, I hate the struggle. I hate the struggle. I like it to be smooth and be on the beach and you know, that ain't the way the world works, man.
No, man. Tell me about it, man.
It is rough, and it is a rough place. It is tough. Yeah. We live. Look at I got a cool little office I got, but you know what? On the other side of this office, and it's rough out there. People are struggling to get theirs. People want theirs. People pushing and shoving and kicking and screaming and doing all that. But you know what? You and I, man, we're committed to making a difference for those people as well as ourselves. And that's just the way we're put together. And I think everybody's put together that way. I think everyone's put together that way. Maybe sometimes we're just disconnected from it.
Yes. And I appreciate you saying that, Martin, because I'm just so passionate about, you know, helping kids. And one thing that makes me sad that I keep seeing it happen in Silicon Valley, because I do a lot of consulting for startup companies in Silicon Valley, a lot of the technology companies. I live in the Silicon Valley area over the last 12 years. And as you know, Martin, 9 out of 10 startup companies, they go under.
They fail, yeah.
You know what I mean? The
For years,
problem,
right?
and you know what I mean? It's crazy because a lot of people, Martin, they withdraw all their savings, their 401ks, they quit their 9 to 5, they let it go, like, you know, positions, the certainty, you know, for the uncertain. And then what happened is, because whenever the startup goes under, then they have to downgrade their lifestyle, and then their kids are not used to that. So I started seeing a pattern of kids walking in front of the train and killing themselves.
Oh my God.
Suicidal, like number of cuttings, you know what I mean, increased so much. And this is like, come on, Silicon Valley in the Bay Area. So the people, they don't talk about it, you know what I mean? I hear because I'm behind so many successful CEOs. Yeah. They call me, can you talk to my spouse? Can you talk to my kids? They hire me to come in and do consulting for them, helping them, you know, scale their business, all the other fun stuff that I do. But it always happens something much deeper before we can even talk about the consulting piece. You know, it's like something going on, you know, here in the mind, because why? We need to have those conversations with our spouses, with our kids, and we need to be real. We gotta reframe them, and you gotta let them kids know, guys, it's okay to struggle. It's okay to fail forward. Look, daddy or mom, you're gonna have to sell the house and downgrade to like a 1-bedroom or a studio. You know what I mean? And we're going to have to leave maybe Palo Alto, and we're going to have to go to like a less, maybe East Palo Alto, right? But just by going from Palo Alto, the people that live here in the Bay Area, to East Palo Alto, you know what I mean? It's a totally different world. Now it's much better, but back in the day, if we go back 10 years, it was crazy. I used to go on the streets, training people how to do sales and marketing, you know, door to door, business to business. And the struggle is crazy. So, you know, I always tell everyone out there, I mean, just talk to your kids, you know, speak life into them when they don't see it. Find out what's going on in their school. Go volunteer in your kids' school. You know what I mean? Try to take the time off. It's not all about the money. You know what I mean? It's something that I'm constantly talking about. Like Martin said, outside those doors, the struggle is real. You know what I mean? And Martin, just, I know that we are almost time here, but tell me one thing that I always love to hear, man. It's just, I'm so happy that we have this conversation here.
Yeah.
If you could go back, Martin, you know what I mean, and speak with yourself 5 years ago, what advice would you give to yourself?
Believe in yourself.
Yes.
Just believe in yourself. Believe in your truth. Believe in yourself. And I'll probably give that same advice 5 years from now. I believe as much in myself as I can. But I think in 5 or 10 years, I'm gonna probably realize I could have believed in myself a little bit more.
Yes, that 1%, right? That 1% increment. I love it, brother. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? And Martin, tell me something else. You know what I mean? What strategy or hack or tip would you give to this audience of, like, we have a lot of entrepreneurs that follow us from all around the world, and they're very successful people, and also people, they are brand new, they're just starting, or they're struggling on the streets. So this is gonna be from audiences from all around the world. What is strategy would you give to them, Martin, to live a magnificent life?
Well, I would say, let's look at this. Look at my logo. This is the logo for my company, for my business, not my mortgage business, but for the Curiosity Theory. And if you notice what it is, there's a question mark inside of a light bulb. So curiosity is the key to creativity. It's the key to innovation. You gotta be curious, and what comes out of that is everything. So you're curious, and then boom, a light pops up. So if you want anything in this world, start with being curious. Be curious, and just let it expand.
Yes, no, I love it. No, I really, really appreciate it. Hey, Martin, the book is already out. Where can they find the book, The Curiosity Theory? And then what if they can find you on social media, Martin?
Okay, well, thanks. The book, you can find it on Amazon, but probably the best thing to do is go to the curiositytheory.com. Go to my website, and there's a link to the book there. And then I have a course. I have a course called the Curiosity Theory Master. It's like a master course, and it's going into depth and being able to apply it. And then as far as connecting with me, Facebook, LinkedIn, I'm all over the place and always looking to make a difference, come out to people's companies. I like you, I consult with CEOs and leaders, do a lot of sales training and all that. So yeah, just the Curiosity Theory is probably the best place. Curiositytheory.com.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. Martin, I really, really want to appreciate you for being here, brother. And then this was an amazing time. I really hope that you guys enjoy it. You know what I mean? And so, like, guys, as I always say, live every day with intention. As one of my great friends and mentor, Tony Robbins, always say, man, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. Find what inspires you, making sure that you are mastering your mind, making sure that you are mastering the self-talk. Keep setting those goals every single day, above and beyond the comfort zone. Whatever you guys are doing out there, man, if you are starting out from the favelas, the slums, the ghetto, or if you are, on the top and you feel like giving up because you lost the sense of fulfillment in life, just do that little pause, go deep within yourself. Give yourself that 10-minute break, start your day. Like every day and every way, becoming stronger, becoming better. Keep asking yourself, what is one thing that I can do right now? Be like a postage stamp. Stick to that one thing and don't stop until you get there. Keep asking yourself, what can I do right now that my competitors won't do, can't do, and won't think of doing? And I guarantee you, my friends, you're going to start seeing the magic happens. As long as you are following what you love, what you are passionate about, and reframe yourself. My loved ones, they might going to tell me, they're going to try to shut me down, but just believe in yourself, my friend. Believe in yourself, fail forward. Another amazing episode, the Carlos Inspire Show series on inspirational stories of others who work like an immigrant. You guys can follow us, Instagram at Carlos Inspire, and then just go and just, it's going to be, look at us up on iTunes and on YouTube. You can see all the shows available. Just go on YouTube or Instagram, Carlos Inspire, and you'll be able to see, and hear it. And if you want to see it visually, and let's go out there and make this day epic. Thank you, everyone. Have an outstanding day.